What's going on, fellow Maplers? The Synergy Ring is available as a part of the Momentree Event reward shop, live in the game through June 13th. As usual, this video will cover everything you need to know in order to determine if this ring is a must-buy, hot garbage, or somewhere in between. Now, there's only a couple of weeks left in this event, and I wanted to make sure I got this video out with enough time for you to leverage this ring if it makes sense for your account. With that out of the way, let's dive right in. The Synergy Ring offers similar stats to other top event rings with 30 all-stat, attack, and 3000 HP and MP. However, you may only receive these stats when you have 5 of them equipped simultaneously across your account. Additionally, like most of the other event rings, it comes with 3 line rare potential. All of this for only 800 event coins. So let's start building a case for the ring. Why might you want this ring? If you're like me, your ring slots for nearly all characters up to 210 looked like this before the Momentree event. The Synergy Ring is a fantastic option to fill out and improve your ring slots across your entire account, which leads me into the main draw of this ring. This ring offers an extraordinary stat benefit with probably the lowest cost in terms of mesos and time investment of any upgrade you can find in the game. Priced only at 800 event coins, it is the cheapest among the event rings, while also tied with the other top event rings in terms of stats. This is an insanely time-efficient upgrade to get. Pick a sunny Sunday and spend max 20 minutes killing 2,000 mobs to cap 600 coins. Use 200 coins from the mole or puzzle minigames to reach 800 and buy the ring. Rinse and repeat on all your Legion, Link, and Boss Mules. Within a few hours, you have the equivalent of a 17-star ring across all your characters. Yes, you heard me right. This ring has stats comparable to a 17-star ring. Let's take a look at the Synergy Ring, and probably the first ring you would consider getting to 17 stars, the Kana Ring. At 17 stars, the Kana Ring offers about 30 more stat, but a couple less attack, and very little HP and MP comparatively. Don't get me wrong, the Kana Ring is definitely a better upgrade. More stat and the ability to go to 22 stars, hard to argue there. However, to reach 17 stars, you can expect to spend about 1.6 bill on average. Remember, luck and RNG comes into play here. It could be a lot more. Additionally, you need to complete a side quest and hope for it to drop across weeks of one of the worst bosses in the game, Princess No. Not only that, you need the stats to be able to clear Princess No. How much investment into your characters do you really plan on doing? I have hundreds of hours into the game, and only 5 of my 34 characters have Kana rings. For 20 minutes of your time and 0 mesos, you're not far off these stats. Lastly, the Synergy Ring is just a straight upgrade from most of the other rings you would have access to up until the Kana Ring. It's not just one or the other. You can have both until you decide to replace it if you bring your character that far. Now let's get into some other considerations. This might be more of a benefit for Reboot, but you have access to the Synergy Ring much earlier than other rings. At level 100, you can access the Momentree Event, and by 120, you can easily have capped coins and purchase this ring on your character. This is a fantastic item to help you one-hit mobs earlier and make the grind to 200 or 210 much smoother. So, I've spoken very highly about this ring, but there is one trade-off that makes it super annoying. You can only equip 5 of them across your account at the same time. If you want to put this ring on other characters, you have to remember to remove it from one first, then equip it on the character you want. This is a small thing, but it's an incredibly stupid feature that's lazy and honestly just pisses me off. Alright, so now I've made a case for the ring. I want to address who would benefit from this ring, or any of the event rings for that matter. This is an important point I wish I'd emphasized more in my last video. Let's start with who it's not for. The event rings are not endgame. I would not advise utilizing any of these on your main for 3-line stat, or more specifically as meso and drop gear, as people like to recommend. They fall off hard in comparison to rings that can gain up to 22 star force, which is a must to allow one-hitting mobs in the late game. For characters you plan on playing a lot, rings that can receive up to 22 star force are really not all that hard to get. Those are the rings you want to invest most of your time and resources into on those characters. To touch a bit more on the legendary meso and drop lines, think about it as a return on your investment. Don't spend all the resources on a ring that will need to be upgraded as soon as you enter the mid game. Don't spend resources for meso and drop on characters you only log on to boss with. Instead, spend your resources on gear that will progress your main or income sources faster. Everyone has a different idea of mid game. When I reference this, I generally just refer to level 250 or more and pushing your character past normal Lotus and Damien clears. At this point, you will most likely have the Kana, Reinforced and Superior Gullux, and Guardian Angel rings, which are all upgrades to these event rings. Don't get me wrong though, this ring and others have a very strong use case for every account which is still creating new characters and boss meals or just starting out, which, let's be real, covers at least 95% of the player base, and I think I'm being really generous to that other 5% too. It's hard to fill out your gear slots early on. To reiterate my earlier points, get this ring on your Link, Legion, and boss meals as early as level 120 as an extremely time-efficient way to improve your character's stats with very little investment. Alright, with all that in mind, let's address the big question. Should you buy the Synergy Ring? Of course! I'll be purchasing it across nearly all my characters, and I think you should too. Thanks for making it to the end. Do me a big favor and synergize with the YouTube algorithm by giving me a like, subscribe, and letting me know your thoughts down in the comments.